So if you paid any attention to what's going on with Twitter in recent months, then you know that Elon is desperately trying to make Twitter profitable. Okay, he's trying what he can. I think a lot of his hope was resting on the Twitter Blue subscription service. That didn't go too well. Now, there are so many things that are going wrong with Twitter at the moment that it's kind of hard to keep track of it. Me, myself, I hear some stuff in a podcast here. I read some of it on Twitter. Then I hear it somewhere else. I'll read it. So luckily, Damion Schubert on Twitter, ironically, has put together a really comprehensive list of things that are currently going on with Twitter. And if you read it, it paints a pretty clear picture of where Twitter actually is, despite all the memeing and having a great time over there vibes going on from Elon. Let's fly through this because it is just a very, very interesting collection of so many stories, some of which I heard before, others were news to me. Okay, so let's go. Damion Schubert says, the last week on Twitter has been really an amazing string of WTF, even by the impressive standards of Elon. It's been really funny when you put all pieces together. It's important to start at the beginning. Twitter's pretty broke. So he shares this tweet by Elon where he says, we're still negative cash flow due to a roughly 50% drop in advertising revenue plus heavy debt load. Need to reach positive cash flow before we have the luxury of anything else. And he said it on July 15th. Okay, so that is literally 2 days ago. Twitter is can't pay the rent level broke. Okay, linking to this article. And by the way, I'm going to link this whole thread down in the description so you can go click each single article if you want to check the references and all that. It's all down there. You just have to check it out and follow the links in the description. But this links to a tech.co article which is titled Why Billionaire Elon Musk Won't Pay Twitter's Rent. As Twitter's financial woes continue, details emerge that not even the rent is getting paid at the company's headquarters. Twitter is we're being sued because we owe $500 million of severance pay level broke. Linking to a Mashable article saying Twitter sued for $500 million over unpaid severance, sues web scrapers. Elon Musk company will be spending a lot of time on its many legal issues. Okay, so these are obviously not just only the $500 million they're being sued for, but also the legal costs, the lawyers. It's a huge rat tail. This kind of stuff is very expensive. Twitter got into this position largely by deciding that getting people to subscribe to Twitter Blue was the future and would be enough to make Twitter less dependent on advertising. Remember when they made the hard switch to get rid of old legacy checkmarks? No one converted. And then he posts like this conversation here from a friend still employed at Twitter. Things are getting a little hectic. And it reads in total we have about 400 Blue purchases in the last 24 hours. 4.100. Wait, LOL. What? That's all. That's wild. Yeah, Ian leadership are freaking out in Slack. Anyway, this is kind of left field, but are you single? Okay, right. That's escalating down here a little bit. This screenshot doesn't come with a date, but I remember seeing it fairly shortly after Twitter Blue launched. So I think these are numbers. I mean, don't let me lie, like a week, but some short period of time after the program actually launched, so it's not good. Also, if we can believe what Damion says here, I find it so fascinating that Elon and his team genuinely sit down thinking that the Twitter Blue subscription service will be like a massive, big building stone in the idea of becoming independent from advertisers or making Twitter profitable or something. That's insane. That's insane to me that anyone would sign this idea off because you're literally signing away like a massive piece of value from your platform. You're just saying the thing that made our platform valuable and allowed, famous people to be identified and authenticated on the platform, that's now gone. That's removed. Now every little Joe Blog from the corner can get a blue check mark, and can verify himself. Just the idea is so self-harming. In the long run, sure, in the short run, you sell these blue check marks and you make a little bit profit. But in the long run, the damage you do, I'm sure if you in 10 years go and make the math, will greatly exceed the profits that Twitter Blue is currently finding. This just shows that Elon, at least it seems to be, and this is just one example we will keep reading, seems to be not the business genius that a lot of Elon fanboys out there believe he is. Blue checkmarks were viewed so terribly that Elon Musk forced them on certain selected celebrities, many of whom then felt obligated to stress to their followers that no, they would not pay for this garbage website, right? So after the launch, only Elon fanboys, bots, and right-wing accounts verified themselves, right? So here you have this platform now that moved from all these celebrities that people really want to follow having blue checkmarks and being authenticated to literally just trash being verified. That's what happened. So they say quite rightly here that people even like Hassan Piker suddenly got a free blue checkmark. And Elon's like, yeah, do you want a blue checkmark? He's like, no, I don't. Just take it. Because he had to give a little bit more credibility and authenticity to this thing that he just ruined. It is, again, such a short-sighted move. You just think, who makes these decisions? Judging from these kinds of news, it just feels like he's in such a rush of desperation to turn this around somehow, that he just makes mistakes, like almost any human being would. If you're in a situation where kind of everything seems to collapse on your head, yeah, you tend to make mistakes because you're not thinking straight. You know what I mean? Advertisers are, of course, still pretty skeptical. Why advertisers aren't coming back to Twitter? This is an article on Vox.com breaking down exactly what Elon said in the tweet that I read in the beginning, right? That they lost roughly 50% of their revenue. And judging from this article, and again, feel free to read the whole thing yourself, it looks like a lot of these companies are not considering to come back, right? Because at this point, Twitter has ruined so much of its reputation that you just don't want to be associated with it. You know, if you're a big brand, there are certain groups of people that you don't want to be associated with. Eagle-eye observers may note that its rosy outlook may not match what Elon says in the tech puff pieces. The BBC News link, Elon in the BBC interview, Twitter boss defends his running of the firm in hastily arranged BBC interview. I'm not going to read the whole thing now, obviously. Probably contains more references of him like kind of twisting the truth, saying everything is rosy and great, when in reality water is like up to here for him probably. At least when it comes to Twitter. Obviously, because Elon is a salesman. Okay, Elon is not a guy that promises something and delivers on it. Elon is a guy that promises something, and that's it. Okay, he did deliver stuff in the past, don't get me wrong, but there's so many things that he has promised in the meantime, whether it is like roof tile solar panels that never really came, tunnels under LA shortcutting traffic that never really happened, or just in Tesla, he promised the Roadster. I believe it was supposed to launch in 2020. I get it, you know, it's the pandemic and all that. Same with the Cybertruck. It's, you know, where are these cars? Where is anything coming that Elon is promising at this point? It just feels like he's twisting these realities because he knows he has his fanboys and they will eat up whatever he throws them, whether he delivers anything or not. So another reference in this article, feel free to read it yourself. But this shouldn't be a surprise, as Twitter was basically treading water before Elon acquired it and immediately saddled the company with $13 billion of debt, which required constant debt servicing. You know, what they call interest payments. When you borrow $30 billion, you have quite severe interest payments on those. And it's just so unbelievable to think about that. He borrowed $12.5 billion to acquire this company on top of all the other billions. You don't know who else he borrowed this from. This is just the money that he borrowed from banks, I believe. As an aside, congratulations to the banks who loaned Elon money. You figured out a way to make Twitter profitable, at least for you. Good for you. A huge part of the problem is that advertising has declined massively. You probably noticed that your ads are now less likely to be McDonald's and Acura and more likely to be Cheech and Chong's gummies and various Wish.com level crap. Yeah, I noticed that as well. I have to block crypto accounts all the time that try to sell crypto and some weird dodgy coins. Not Doge coins. Dodgy coins. Just kind of the same thing. But yeah, you definitely do notice like a shift in advertisers and the type of companies that advertise on Twitter. Which made it all the more surprising when last week a bunch of blue checkmarked tweeters reported getting informed they were getting big payouts from Twitter in the 20K range. And if you're on Twitter, there was no way of missing that. Okay, people like Ed Krassenstein, and given this example here as well, received $24,000 allegedly. I haven't seen the money, but $24,305. When pressed upon it, Elon stressed that the payouts were based on ads that were served in replies to their threads to other verified members, stressing that the content to free users was easy to manipulate. I doubt Elon's advertisers are paying based on just subscriber views, okay, with this tweet down here. It's not exactly per impression. What matters is how many ads were shown to other verified users. Only verified users count, as it is otherwise trivial to game the system with bots. Okay, you can just bot it. So we're only counting ad impressions from verified users. And that's how Ed Krassenstein accumulated $24,305 in what, like since Twitter Blue launched? A month or 2 or 3 ago? When was that? Like a few months ago? That seems like a solid monthly income, doesn't it? This is also funny because a core promise of the Twitter Blue subscription is that you won't see very many ads. So Twitter Blue went from the feature that would make ads unnecessary to one where Blue users must be shown ads in order to succeed. I love this. This is amazing. This is just pure gold. You know what I mean? First, he's so desperate, so he's like, yeah, blue checkmarks, we sell Twitter Blue. One of the benefits, I don't know, less ads, I guess. You know, less ads, you see less ads. Now he realized that the ad system can be scammed so easily with bots, so he needs the ads to be shown to these Twitter Blue subscribers, right? And he's like, yeah, no, it's a conundrum. You know what I mean? It's so stupid. And you see, these are the kind of stories that come out of like unconsidered, hasty management under the panic of massive debt on your shoulder, and you're not really sure how you're going to cope with all this nonsense. So That's the kind of stuff that really illustrates nicely the state that Twitter is currently in. It's unreal, all right? Also, if you think this sounds like a pyramid scheme on MLM, yeah, kind of does. It's a transparent attempt to goose blue subscriptions with the promise that you too could be getting 25,000 checks instead of being one of those greater fools shelling out $8 a month. And this is exactly the thought I had as well, right? When I saw these people a few days ago like posting all these but these screenshots of them allegedly receiving like $25,000. Tim Pool, I think there's a screenshot somewhere down here where Tim Pool also received some money. So it was not that everyone received money. A lot of accounts that are very, very busy. I think Hassan Abi, who obviously generates a lot of traffic on Twitter, got like a ridiculously small amount, like a few cents or something. I read this somewhere. I got to follow up on it. I don't want to say anything wrong. But it seemed very much like it was very selective. And the ones that were shared, like by Krassenstein and the other ones, were very much like, guys, look, it's amazing. And of course it is amazing. They just received all that money from Twitter. But it was clearly like a rouse to get people to sign up for this stuff. Okay, and to be like, yeah, if I can just push my Twitter a little bit more, I can probably live off my Twitter. Look at Krassenstein making 25,000 a month or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like he's selling the become a YouTuber vision, basically. That's what he's trying to do here. Again, very hastily and clumsily and unconsidered. But it is so obvious that was Elon's idea with handing out these paychecks to all these people. He just wants more people to subscribe to Twitter Blue so they can have this dream, this vision that they're now going to earn incredible amounts of money, because it's also completely intransparent. You don't know how it works, how many impressions you get, how many ads were actually served. He can claim anything. He say, yeah, your account made $50 last month, or your account made $10,000. You don't know. You know what I mean? Even your big account, there is no way of checking. It lacks all transparency. So it very much feels like it was just a marketing campaign for Twitter Blue that he handed out this money. An expensive one, right? Paid a lot of people a lot of money. We get to that in a second. But Damion Schubert continues and says, over on Blue Sky, which is Jack Dorsey's, the original Twitter founder's new app, I think it's invite only at this point, Parker Molloy noted that one certain blue checkmark user with 1.8 million users or followers has not gotten a check and wasn't happy about it. Here's some screenshots she grabbed. Wow, I can't even read all my replies for months without 1,000 ads, and I received $0 from Twitter. This is awesome. It's life-changing. How much is your cut? If Turd isn't getting six-figured, then something is wrong. You don't actually think Twitter will ever pay me any money, do you? So another indicator that seems to point in the direction that someone finally selected these accounts who actually get paid. Despite being an unqualified garbage person, the esteemed Mr. Turd 2 is an endless source of amusement to me, given that he constantly complains about being treated unfairly by Elon's Twitter, despite being artificially algorithmically boosted. And I guess this is like a Yahoo article that confirms that this person up here is algorithmically boosted. Another person in Catturd circle of MAGA doofuses did a little research and discovered that no, it wasn't a systematic thing. Just checks sent out to a handful of hand-picked posters. Mysteriously, posters that interact with Elon a lot. Got the answer from Twitter support. Ad sharing is currently only available to hand-picked lucky ones. Thank you for reaching out about being unable to receive your payment from Creator Ads revenue sharing on Twitter. We have to inform you that currently Creator Ads revenue sharing is only available to a selected group of people. We hope this clarifies your concerns. Sorry, you get nothing. Not all creators who want to monetize will be able to. Creators who apply to the program will have to pass human review. And there's currently no open application for those interested in joining. Sorry, we didn't actually want to do like an ad program where you benefit on Twitter. We just needed people to see really high numbers on screen grabs from Krassenstein, so you think you can make money on Twitter. You know, it's not about you actually making money. You gotta understand that. Now, as Taylor Lawrence reports, people who have worked at Twitter in the past know the numbers at play, and they know that it's all just a big PR stunt. Former Twitter staffers who worked on creator-focused products expressed skepticism over the rollout, with several calling it a PR stunt. One former Twitter executive who worked on a creator partnership and who spoke on the condition of anonymity to avoid retaliation said that any kind of content monetization we've done in the past was based on a revenue model. This just feels pulled out of thin air for a specific subset of creators that he wanted to placate. Really interesting point here, right? Because he says, yeah, the plan was always like, we will have this revenue model for creators, but only once we are profitable. Once Twitter is profitable, then we can start to roll out these paychecks. That he does it now seems like such a monstrous act of desperation. Like, good Lord, you know, you can't make it any clearer. So who did Elon handpick for his program? Well, high-profile traffickers, for starts, allegedly. Like Cobra Tate. He received $20K Elon's like, bro, Cobra Tate, handpicked, man. Put that man on the list. Other accounts also received money like End Wokeness, Tim Pool, Ian Miles Chong. Okay, so you can kind of get an idea of the type of people. I mean, sure, there's also Ed Krassenstein in there. I think he would be probably described as like left-leaning or whatnot. But still, most of these people are just straight out of Elon's sphere, right? He's like, I'll take the people that I interact with a lot. So I give my friends some money and at the same time promote Twitter Blue because I give people the illusion that they all can make this much money. I'm genius. I'm Elon. Okay. Now this sounds like the thought of a 5-year-old, and that's why it's surprising to me that Elon is actually allegedly, looking at this, he seems to be so gullible and naive in his decision making, unless I'm monstrously missing something here, that he signs off things like that he does these children-like plans, like the one I just described, right? The people he handpicks, it's such a trash marketing stunt. It's easier to see through than freaking glass. Do you know what I mean? And now Elon has announced he plans to double these payouts. But as you keep these promises in mind, remember Twitter doesn't have any money and has no interesting new revenue pipeline coming. And here's the receipt. Elon said this in this tweet. Soon we will share ad revenue from profile page views, which should roughly double the payout. Should roughly double your payout. If you make 10 grand now, you're gonna make 20 grand soon. Note, only views from verified users count, okay? As it is otherwise trivial to bot scam the view count. Oh my god, it falls apart so hard. Like, he doesn't have many blue subscriptions. Obviously, we don't have official numbers, but the latest number I could find is that's like roughly 500,000 people. 500,000 people have Twitter Blue out of 450 million Twitter users. Do you know what I mean? Like, the ratio is off the charts. And now explain to me how views only from those 400 or 500,000 people, only their traffic on Twitter will generate the ad revenue that is enough to pay people like Ed Krassenstein £25,000 every other month, which will be doubled very soon. It makes no sense. You need to be a complete gullible fool to hear this and be like, yeah, man, awesome, I'm signing up now. I'm going to soon make loads of money on Twitter. That's insane. It's insanity. All of this very much feels like a publicity stunt to try to keep their key influencers from leaving. But why would they feel they need to do that? Gee, that's a real puzzle. According to Meta founder Mark Zuckerberg, Threads, which is his brand new Twitter competitor, only took 5 days to reach the key threshold of 100 million users. Now that doesn't mean that everyone is active and that Threads is now a great platform, but it illustrates that there is a vacuum of desperation of people having to have a new platform. People want to move. A lot of people don't want to be on Twitter anymore. It is the only platform that currently gives you exactly this product. I would say Threads and, Mastodon and Blue Sky, they offer good products. I haven't checked all of them, but it's not Twitter. Twitter has value because so many people are there and all that, but it's clear that it's an issue, a potential issue for Elon when all his users walk off to other platforms, okay? And it seems like he has realized that with statistics like the one I just read out. If you got this far, follow me, you cowards, okay? Follow Damion Schubert, okay? He deserves it. He put this together. It's a great thread. But maybe on Threads too, same handle, okay? Please, if Twitter shuts down, at least you can also follow him on Threads. Update number 1. The esteemed Mr. Turd 2 is still mad, and he should be. So he's not stopping, okay? I don't know. I've seen this guy, obviously, like he says, he is algorithmically pushed, so I've seen stuff from him as well. But it's not an account that I'm interested in. Update number 2. One thing I forgot to mention. While 9 out of 10 of the people Elon pays out are right-leaning and or anti-woke, the audience that Elon bought leans left by 2-to-1 margin. Elon is paying conservatives to drive his audience away from the service. It's just logically not explainable anymore what's going on over there. Like, there's no rationality in so many decisions that Elon is making. Unbelievable. Update number 3. Advertisers should be aware that this is no longer about their ads appearing next to white nationalist posts, but rather that their ad money will go directly into those people's pockets. And that is an important point to make, that if you are advertising on Twitter, your money will go to people like Tim Pool, so that Elon can create the illusion of Twitter being like YouTube, where you can actually make money with your content. I find this amazing. This is amazing, okay? I have so much love for this story. It's incredible. I find it fascinating, and the more I hear about it, the more I love Elon, okay, for everything that he does, because he creates incredible content like this, and there's a certain beauty in the unpredictability of his next move. You just can't predict what Elon is going to do next and how he's going to ram this company into the ground even harder. But anyway, guys, this is it. I just thought this is a fun Twitter thread that kind of summarizes what's currently going on with the company and with Elon. So I hope you enjoyed this little breakdown. If you did, then please smash the like button. Please, I would appreciate that, okay? We YouTubers, we like buttons being smashed. Also, subscribe to the channel or join our Discord. It's totally free, okay? The link is in the description. You just have to click it. You're part of our Discord. Lots of nice people over there. I'm hanging out there. You know, it's a great place to discuss anything you want. Like Elon's Twitter, for example. I'm sure people will be delighted to discuss this with you. So I would love to hear from you over on the Discord. Link is in the description. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Bye.